Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and over the weekend there was a huge reported leak of data that details loads of really interesting stuff for some classic games for Nintendo's systems, and, you know, sort of things like the source code and things like that, and people have been rummaging. They had been rummaging like Billio and come up with so much incredible stuff. There's new stuff being found all the time, and so we're just going to show you a few personal highlights of stuff that people have found in the source code for various games, primarily Super Mario 64, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and Zelda, as well as a few other little interesting, just little twiddly things here and there. Full credit and tremendous thanks goes out to all of the people featured in this video. We didn't discover any of this, it's all down to these lovely people. Quick little warning, I'm just editing this video and I will be using words like Arceus, Mario, and Beta. That's just how they're pronounced with my accent. Let's just move on. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling, let's dive right into things. So we're going to start off with Super Mario 64 because this is probably the most substantial thing overall, and if you didn't know, back in the day, Luigi was originally planned to be in the game, and this source code has provided us with a model of him. Oh! Interestingly, this beta version of the game, as you can see detailed here, went under the title of Ultra 64 Mario Brothers and comes from 1995. People started finding references, and as you can see, StarCurb here has managed to piece together a few pieces of Luigi's model, and it is distinct from Mario's. And as time went on, people were able to assemble the final model of Luigi, although it should be stated that this particular image that you're seeing now was in fact photoshopped together by 2112 Austin, who admits that they use the textures from the original files, but that this is not actually the real model running in the game. But this is what he would have looked like. The little cherry on top of all of this is the fact that you're no doubt aware, if you know anything about Super Mario 64 rumors, that there is a fountain with a star statue in the middle, and it appears to read L is real 2401. I mean, it's been proved time and time again that it doesn't, but even so, as a little twist of fate, this Luigi model was finally discovered and put together 24 years and 1 month after the release of Super Mario 64. And there's just something a little magical about that. We've also got some screenshots in the original quality found in this archive, which show the game running in a much earlier state with a different HUD and things like that, as you can see here, courtesy of Caitlin Molinus. And I do apologize profusely if I've butchered your name, but she's going to appear a lot, so sorry, Caitlin. Also featured is the original quality cartridge art for the game, and this is just kind of magical for me because, you know, making thumbnails and stuff like that, it can be a real pain in the ass for older games to find some decent looking images, and so to see such old art in such high resolution is just lovely. And going even further, we have the original quality box art graphics without the usual, you know, N64 gubbins plastered all over it, and once again, it just looks lovely. Moving on to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, not a lot of really interesting stuff to show you. There was some information about Ura Zelda, which was essentially kind of like an add-on pack for the original N64 version, but using the 64DD. It's not as clear-cut as that, but you know, I'm simplifying. However, we do have the beta version of the Temple of Time's cube map, which was featured in an old promo image, and to see it so beautifully high resolution, and just to see the differences as much as anything, it's just really interesting. Mr. Cheese _ goes even further and has a load of high resolution manual art, which again, I'm just thinking about seeing these things, the lovely old style of it, you know, the old 3D rendered things. It just looks absolutely beautiful in a kind of disgusting retro way. It makes me really wish we could have access to the original 3D models as well, but that may be asking a little much. Moving on to Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and Caitlin reappears once again. She's been a busy little bee, to say the least. It was originally planned for every single Pokemon in the game to have sexual dimorphism, and you can see that here in a few examples that we haven't really seen before. The short-eared Plusle for me looks exceptionally silly. There's also a load of old sprites that were never used in the final game, which shows maybe a slightly different direction in terms of art style and just, you know, how the character is designed for a few characters, most notably I think Vespiquen, because purple? Really? I've got to say I do prefer the final one. Snova though, that's a good Snova. That's a good Snova. There's also this Torterra sprite, which is clearly an older design and maybe not even planned to be a final sprite, just kind of like a placeholder. And I've got to say, good God, I'm glad it didn't look like this in the real game. There's also what is possibly a beta version of Giratina. I mean, it looks absolutely nothing like the final thing, really, but it does share the same number, so who knows? We've got a beta Rotom as well, and this obviously was never designed to be a final image, but it is clearly a very different design and much more just, I suppose, just generally ethereal. Just looks like electric. Then from Mixelli, we've got the beta Garchomp Evolutionary Line, and I've got to say, I'm quite pleased with this. I mean, you know, I still think I prefer the final version, but there's something oddly pleasing about it. I mean, certainly the first one. Look at his smushy little face. And I've saved the best for last. Yes, this is beta Arceus. It's wonderful. And lastly, just a few interesting little extras. Once again from Caitlin, we have got a Nintendo Space World 2000 title screen for Animal Forest. However, it should be stated that this is not actually the title screen. It's just an image found in the source code of the title screen. Still very interesting. And last but certainly not least, we have got the original uncompressed voice line from Star Fox 64. You all know what it is.
Do a barrel roll!
And there you have it. That is just, seriously, just a slice of the things that these wonderfully talented people have found. And I think it's just, I honestly think it's tremendous work, and these people are doing fantastically wonderful things, and it's always nice to just be able to peek behind the curtain, certainly with a company like Nintendo that is usually so tight-lipped. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you quickly scroll out that subscribe button and say it's a beta, and it really will be, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.